What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Two Game Podcast, where every week we are reviewing the episodes of The Acolyte Season 1. We are jumping into episode number 4 today. Lot to be said about this particular episode. And by a lot, I mean there's not a whole lot because not a whole lot happens in this episode because it's literally just fucking walking. So I'm just going to put a disclaimer out there to begin with, Nick, that this is going to be a lot of bitching. It's going to be about 14, 15 minutes of us just fucking ranting. Or, I don't want to speak for you, but it's going to be me ranting.
I'm about that, love.
So, what did you think about episode 4?
It was better than episode 3.
Was it though?
It didn't have children actors.
The only reason this is better is because nothing ever happens in this episode for them to really just suck at.
I mean, I don't know. It was an episode, I'll tell you that. I have nothing good to say about it, I guess. But it wasn't as bad as 3.
So this episode, just to kind of just give y'all a Cliff Notes version of what happened. They go to the planet with the Wookiee Jedi is allegedly on, and they land. They do some walking. They stop said walking, talk for like 2 seconds, continue walking, and then on the flip side we have old girl May and her little dude Kimar. They're also on the planet, and they land, and they walk a little bit, stop, talk for a second, start walking again, and then it cuts back to the Jedi group where they walk on some more. They stop, and they talk for about 5 seconds, and then they continue walking. And then there is an encounter with a bug that lasts all of like 5 seconds, and it's literally just them cutting down a bug. It's
One bug. There was like 50 to 100 bugs all around them, but they only killed the one.
exactly just that is need to know information right there. Because not there's you think, okay, there's about to be this big action set piece, and it just never happens. It was kind of like, I don't know, I felt like I was bamboozled. I felt like I was let down. But then again, I've been let down so far, so like, is this any different than what I've been experiencing up to
They
this
only had
point?
it. They only had it in the budget to CGI one bug.
Which I'm glad you brought that up. Because they do some walking, because they're walking to the Wookiee to, chat with the old pal and whatnot, right? And they find him, gutted, basically, with a lightsaber to the stomach. And he is dead. The Wookiee that they kind of built up a couple episodes ago, and you think he's going to do some dope shit. No, he's fucking dead. He's dead. We never see him in action. We never see him do anything. He literally shows up at the end of, what is it, episode 2?
Episode 2. Yep.
For like 5 seconds, and then they're talking about him in this episode, and then it leads nowhere. So apparently, according to the writers of the episode, it was not in the budget for him to have a action set piece, or him to do anything cool, or anything other than just be dead. They didn't have the budget. I don't know where you put that budget at, but I digress. And then the episode ends with the Jedi standing around looking at the Wookiee, and old May decides that after 17 years or 15 years, however fucking long it's been since she's been on her vendetta against the Jedi, and how much she hates her sister, and she's going to kill them all, and she's going to kill her sister, and yada, yada, yada. She decides in the span of 10 seconds in this episode that she's going to turn herself into the Jedi.
She's gonna be
Well,
good. Yep.
she's going to be good. And old Smilo Ren appears behind her, fucking does like this weird little force thing with his hand. It looks dumb. Okay, it looks dumb. And basically force pushes her the fuck out the way. And then he just force pushes all the Jedi at once with his force push, and he pushes them all away, and that's how the episode ends.
So much for the power of many.
Which I'm gonna go ahead and say it right now. I think it's the mother. I think she's the it literally is the power of many.
I'm still leaning towards its Chimere
A lot
because
of people are saying
you're right.
I'll say a lot of people are saying that it's him, but he has a master, and it's like not the power of it was the rule of two. There's actually three of them, is what people are saying.
Well, I mean, it's just because like he snuck away, and then the Wookiee gets killed off scene, and then he comes back, and then she sneaks away, and then he gets stuck in a trap, and then that's when she decides that she's gonna be good, and she's just gonna leave him hanging there upside down, but he's already done everything. He's already killed the Wookiee.
I just I don't
Yeah.
know.
And I
I feel
think
like we haven't.
he's spying on her, playing another character. Like he's undercover bossing her.
Yeah, yeah. And that's one of the issues with this whole series with the writers and everything like that. On one hand, I'm thinking, okay, maybe they want us to think that it's him and it's just gonna be somebody else, or I don't know, but I feel like they're too stupid so far with the writing that they wouldn't even think that far.
They
And
want you
on the
to
flip
think.
side,
They want you to think that you think that you know what they think. That you know their thing.
exactly
That's
what
what
he
they're
said.
doing. They're going back and forth.
Like I don't know, man. I this show is so confusing to me in terms of the writers and what they're trying to give us. Again, I feel like they think they're smart, but everything that we've gotten up to this point has not been smart. So it's kind of like you never know what an idiot's going to do, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even think they're acting like they think they're smart. I think they're more gearing towards they're trying to be edgy, but in a PG sense.
But the whole thing was supposed to be a mystery. If you figure out the mystery within like fucking the first episode, I mean, is it really a mystery?
I didn't realize it was supposed to be a mystery.
Well, I mean, that's how they pitched it. They
Well,
said it was going to be.
I didn't pay attention to the pitches. I just came into this like, fuck it, it's going to be another Disney show.
Yeah, so when the show originally got announced, they said, "Hey, it's going to be based on the Sith. It's going to be from their perspective. It's going to be basically how the Jedi are not as good as everybody says they are. They have a lot of issues, and the Sith are going to kind of point that out, and the Jedi are going to be killed one by one, and it's going to be a kind of a murder mystery type of genre." And I mean, granted, we haven't really gotten much from the Sith perspective. I know technically, I guess they're not. He's not the Sith in this particular show. He's the Acolyte or some shit. I don't fucking know. He's a Sith. He
Well,
has a red lightsaber and he has
he,
fucking
he
dark
can't
get
be
up.
he can't be a Sith. It's impossible.
Why? Because Kiadi Mundi's in this show, and he said
Yes, and he
in
specifically
the Phantom
said the
Menace.
Sith had been gone for a millennium. He also, and I know they've changed his age now in the Wikipedia, which evidently has caused them to get some death threats. But he was not even supposed to be alive for this show.
So I brought this up in the 2 game episode for this week, episode 146, which y'all can find on our YouTube channel or wherever you listen to podcasts. Um, I know a lot of people say they're very pissed off about that one little thing, right? And rightfully so. I think it's a kind of a misstep. I don't think they brought this on themselves essentially. Like they didn't really need to put him in the show.
No, they didn't.
And that's kind of where I'm at. It doesn't really piss me off. I think it's I just roll my eyes and I'm kind of like, this is kind of on par for the rest of the show. Is they're just idiots and they don't. It's like they don't know what happens in the movies or anything like that. And I feel like they're not taking this seriously. They don't really give a shit about Star Wars or the lore or what's been told before it. You know, they're
No,
just
well,
like,
that's why I
we'll just
said
do whatever we want.
they're trying to make an edgy PG TV show in the Star Wars universe, not giving a crap about the Star Wars universe.
Mm-hmm. And there's just, you know, I should have been like you, and I should not have looked up anything to do with this show beforehand in terms of what the creator has said about the show and stuff like that, because it's honestly, it's just kind of fucking aggravating at this point. And it's like, do you understand Star Wars like at all? Because I don't think you understand Star Wars at all.
Yeah.
And again, I'll reference episode 146 of the Two Game podcast. Christian and I went in depth on a lot of the issues with not only this show but Star Wars since it was acquired by Disney. You know, they're just not handling any of these right, and a lot of it goes down to a woman protagonist and yada yada yada. And I'm not gonna beat that dead horse again, but for I do wish that they had a good protagonist in this show, whether it was female or not. I don't give a shit. I just want a good story, good characters that I can relate to or get attached to. And there's not a single one. Not a single one. Master Salt, maybe he's the only thing carrying me through this series right now. But I wouldn't sit here and say, oh man, I really fucking love that character. No, he's there and he's the best thing in the show right now.
And he really hasn't played much of a role since episode 1 and 2. I mean, obviously he was barely in episode 3, and when he did, he was a pedophile. And then in episode 4,
yes.
And then episode 4, like you said, they just walk in the woods. Their crappy ass CGI ship lands in front of the tree line conveniently, right where, and then there's just like confusion. Like, so now out of these 4 Jedi that were on this witch planet, 2 of them have just gone AWOL. And then one of them, after he becomes a master, just sits in solitude meditating because of the grief that he has over what he did when he was still a Padawan. And then Saul's the only one that actually is still really part of the Jedi Order at this point.
So there's the rumor going around, or there's a couple of different rumors going around. One that there's more to the we're gonna have another flashback episode, and it's gonna explain, because the old dude had like he had like an injury to his eye, and it was like fucking whited out or whatever. So we're thinking maybe there's something else to that story, but I mean, how else is there more to that story? Because I mean, they're all dead to begin with, so it's like, where does the guilt come into play with all that he had to go into this solitude state, you know? So
Right.
I don't know about that.
Well,
But the other rumor, I don't know if you
get
heard
the
this.
flashback.
Wait, do what now?
I said I get there being more flashbacks. They're going to have to be more flashbacks. We're going to have to see what happened in the temple or in the witch altar, whatever, from a different perspective.
The power of many,
I guess. But anyway, the other theory you say.
the other rumor, and this is kind of bouncing off of episode 3, the lore breaker from episode 3, which was that they basically force created the twins. The rumor is that Shmi will be revealed as being one of the sisters, the witch sisters, in this, and that's how she conceived Anakin.
But Shmi would be a newborn, maybe.
Well, I mean, this is 86 years before all that, so
Right, that's what I'm saying. She wasn't even 86 years old.
no,
Yeah.
she's what, like 40, if that?
Well, no, because she's in Tatooine, and Tatooine ages people a lot more than normal, so she was probably like 20.
Was she a paramedic? So I hope that's not the case. Again, that's just gonna they're fucking all this up. I just know in advance they're fucking all this up, and I know I'm not gonna like it.
I had things to say, and then I forgot them all just because I was so depressed.
The one other thing that I'll mention about this episode, um, and we've already kind of briefly mentioned it, is the fact that we have spent 3 episodes basically of May saying she hates the Jedi, she hates her sister, she's going to kill them, she's on this vendetta and this revenge mission to kill them all and do whatever the fuck for her master or whatever. Okay, and then just with no development, with no, like I said, no development of her character. She just on a whim decides that she wants to be good again and that she wants to turn herself in. While her sister just found out that she's alive, she just found out her sister's alive, and there's no
Her,
development between those two characters whatsoever. It's super fucking confusing and poorly
well,
written.
and her
That's
sister
all.
finds out she's alive, and it's just straight up like, I don't fucking care. She's the Jedi's problem.
Yeah, yeah. Like, okay, I'm gonna turn myself in for my sister. Did you know your sister just fucking told everybody that she didn't fucking care what happened to you?
You might need to talk to her about this first.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all about people turning good, but you might want to rethink this.
Right, and then like the Jedi that are in this, okay, Master Gamora, this whole thing, like, yo, there's two, now there's three Jedi that are dead. And she's just like, hey, how about we don't tell the Grand Council about this? Let's kind of just keep this under the rug, keep this between us. Let's not talk about it. And he's like, you don't think that the council like knows that they got Jedi's just out there dying left and right?
It's kind of something hard to keep under wraps.
Right.
And
Especially if
Yoda,
they're actually supposed to be doing shit. Like, was Trinity on that planet actually under ordered there by the Jedi Council, or was she rogue? And then Master Tommen, okay, well, everybody knew he was on that one planet meditating for the last 12 years. Whatever. He had to have been doing something with the Jedi Council because there were at least other Jedi around him. They all knew he was there in a temple. Okay, but then you got the Wookiee Jedi who they land on the planet and they're like, hey, do you guys know where he's at? And they're like, no, we haven't seen him for a while. And the Jedi on Coruscant were trying to communicate, and he wasn't whatever. The Wookiee wasn't answering, so that Wookiee went rogue. And if I was the Jedi Council, I'd be a little concerned with how my people were out there, not doing the job.
man, it's also, Yoda's got to be there. So I mean, when they did Order 66, I mean, he felt all of the Jedi. I mean, anytime something happened in the Force, Yoda felt it. So I mean, if a Jedi is dying, two of them are dying at this point. He feels something.
He's got to feel something, because I mean, even whenever Jedi don't die, he feels it. Whenever Anakin was going on his damn killing spree, Yoda's like, oh, something's going on right now. I can feel it. But this takes place 136 years. Maybe he wasn't as attuned as he was.
Oh,
And that's I'm giving him a way out. He wasn't trained to that level yet. He's got 136 years to get there.
Something tells me they would fucking try to come up with that excuse, to be honest with you.
He's Yoda. He hasn't even reached seniority yet. He's actually got pitch black, long flowing hair. Not even a gray. Yeah.
They still call him Baby Yoda.
Right. Hasn't gotten the wrinkles yet. Not the ear hair, nothing like that.
Yep. But yeah, I pretty much hated this episode up until like the last 20 seconds, which I think the CGI looked wonky on that, and it just didn't look good. But I like the aspect of it. I do enjoy where it's kind of heading, and I'm hoping it's going upwards from here. I doubt it, but we'll see, because episode 5 I'm about to watch tonight. I know we're kind of like a week behind, but I'm very interested to see how they fail me tonight, to be honest with you.
I am too. You know what? Since it left on that cliffhanger right there, It's going to be a flashback episode. Calling it now.
I swear to God, if that fucking
It's a
happens,
flashback episode. You're gonna text me in like 10 minutes and you motherfucker.
Master and Dar is gonna be the first fucking scene. God damn it! But yeah, guys, let us know down below what you thought about episode number 4 and how you're enjoying the series. Also down below, we have in the description, we have links to all of our social media accounts. We would greatly appreciate it if you went to our TikTok. If you want instant reactions, you don't have to wait a week. If you want instant reactions from me on the day that it releases, go to our TikTok, follow. I'm doing those reviews instantaneous as soon as I watch them on the Tuesdays that they get released. And then also like, subscribe on YouTube. And yeah, we greatly appreciate y'all joining us. And we'll catch y'all next time on another episode. Laters.